starting the process of charring the logs that are going to go in the hole in the garden. I don't want them to burn too fast. My fire isn't flaming right now. I don't want it. Spruce is pretty dry. I don't want it to catch on fire. Charring it, apparently, I don't know what it does. I saw it on YouTube. Preserves it, maybe seals it up a bit so it doesn't get wet and absorb moisture. I really don't know. But I saw Eric and Ariel on Simple Living Alaska on their YouTube channel, and this is what they did when they built their firewood shelter. So we'll see. My garden is pretty wet in the spring from all the snow melt, so I don't want them to absorb any water. And I was hoping to avoid wrapping them in plastic, but I might just have to do that. So it's finally dried up enough that we can get these posts set in the ground today. That's part of my project. That's been delayed because of all the rainy weather we've had. I've got to dig a few more inches of soil. It's still pretty wet. I did char the bottom of the posts. However, I'm going to wrap them in plastic to help with frost heaving. Wrap them in plastic. It's a decent thickness, and staple that to it just to keep the moisture out. I charred them, but I don't know if that's effective enough. We're not using concrete or gravel. We have decent drainage here, so I'm going to go ahead and get some help to get these leveled in the holes, and hopefully have at least the 4 of these leveled and straight and backfilled today. So there's a shot of my posts in the ground. They're at about 2.5 feet to 3 feet deep, wrapped in plastic each and stapled on over the wood that was charred. It took us a couple of hours to kind of get everything set up with 3 people working, trying to level them as best as can be, taking into account for the fact that the posts aren't perfectly straight and knots and everything else. So I ended up putting a 3rd pole on the back side of it because I think I'm going to end up siding it in with slab wood from a local mill to keep the cost to free. And I don't want to have long boards that sag or kind of rot. So I think the plan is just to have some slabs, maybe all the way up on the back, only halfway up on the sides, and then maybe some screen. Obviously the front is going to be open, but I have an old panel from a screen room that we had years ago that was 10 by 10. I might just put that on the front. So it's not going to be completely bug proof, but it would be nice enough to keep them at bay, especially if I have my little bug smoker inside. So it's hot enough. I don't know the temperature right now, but it's time for an ice cream and a cold brewski. That's kind of my project done for today. I don't want to really do any more to it because then I'll lose my patience and end up cocking it all up. But